Hi there, this is Sean Brodrick for UncommonWisdomDaily.com. Where will commodities go next? That's what we're all asking ourselves. We have seen the US dollar start to rally at the end of last week, and so this is starting to weigh on commodities, seeing oil and gold go lower. Where will they go, and will the US dollar keep going higher? First of all, I think the US dollar is going to run to serious overhead resistance that has weighed on it in the past. That resistance is around 80 right now. And so the US dollar could go a little higher than that, but that level will probably kind of act as overhead resistance and just kind of send it lower. Now, to find out where commodities are going, let's look at a chart of the CRB Index, which is a broad measure of commodities, though it's heavily weighted toward energy. Now, looking at this, you can see that the longer-term trend in commodities is improving. We have seen the CRB Index come up to overhead resistance around the 25% retracement of its big move lower, but it's normal for it to run into overhead resistance here. It could take a little bit to work through, but look at the 20-day moving average moving up through the 50-day moving average. When this has happened in the past, this often indicates a move higher, and so I expect this trend to play out. Short-term pullback as it bounces lower from the 25% retracement, and then the shorter-term trend taking over and pushing it up higher. How high could the CRB Index go? Well, it would really run into overhead resistance around the 50% retracement, and that's about 25% higher from recent levels. So that's actually still a pretty good move ahead of it before we even have to think, this run may be in some real trouble. Now, what are the fundamentals that could drive this? One thing is agriculture. We've seen terrible droughts spread in places like Russia, Ukraine, Eastern Europe basically, and this is pushing up the price of grains, along with which the monsoon rains in India really haven't been nearly as much as expected. They're at like a 5-year low, and so this should weigh on Indian crops where there's 1 billion people who are hungry. So looking at that, you can see that there will be support from agriculture prices pushing up the CRB Index. Now, things like gold and stuff like that may lag because it seems to be the basic materials that should lead going forward. Part of that is due to China, because China, its demand for things like oil, copper, zinc, and more are just cranking up, and they have a easy money policy in China, which is helping to push that along. So I expect Chinese demand for basic materials will continue to push the CRB Index along, and the support from the grains and stuff like that will also help out. Gold may not come up with that in the short term, but the longer term outlook for both gold and silver is pretty good. So that's my outlook on this whole complex for right now, and so we'll have to see how things play out over the next week and month. Thank you very much. This is Sean Brodrick for Uncommon Wisdom Daily, and thanks for watching.